First race, I've got Victory Chant coming back into racing after a very, very long time. Uh, he had a problem with the right knee. He's come back now, but he will definitely need this race. Sailor Moore is not running so well after winning the race, so we're just trying her over a 6 this time to see whether she can. I have another horse, the High Spirit. She's showing some improvement, and I think she could be in the thick of things in this race. She's a decent horse.
I've got 3 runners tomorrow. First one is Nod. He ran with me for the first time last week, but he took a fly jump and didn't really run a race, so I'm running him again tomorrow. I just want to find out something about him.
So you've got Arbitrage competing at the races tomorrow. First time in Pune. How's he keeping, and how good are the chances?
He's running first time. He had a setback beginning of the season, beginning of this Pune when we came. And so he came over it, and now he's doing well on the tracks. And he's recovered totally, I feel. He should run a very good race. It's a very, very ordinary race. Okay. Very ordinary horses are running the race. Okay. So I just hope my horse fares well tomorrow in this.
So any horse that Arbitrage should particularly look out for in this field?
If I had an advantage of a run, I don't think I would have been much scared of any horse. But since he's running first time, so he may probably be a little rusty. Okay. So in that sense, I would say there are 2 horses, Bomber and Nod. Okay. They can do well. But as I said, it's a very ordinary set, so nothing much expected from these horses.
All right, Nurad, they've got Nairobi competing at the races tomorrow. Just recently got beat to Tucson and, of course, racing after a month. Tell us something more about Nairobi and her chances.
Well, she's done well from her last run. I have given her time because I wanted her to settle a bit because she used to get too keen. She has settled and, so hopefully tomorrow she doesn't have to jump and go to the front. Yes, she's very badly drawn, 10 out of 10. So mainly she has to just jump, come and cover herself up, and then her turn of foot is very good. Yes, but there are some horses in the race. Bomber is there, Arbitrage is there, so it's not going to be easy, She's good. It's a tough race, but I think she'll really run a good race. I would have preferred a 7, but the 7 furlongs, the rider had another ride in it, so I said let her run this race. It's a 4-year-old known over race. The other one was 5-year-old known over, but that's fine. She's looking well, she's feeling well, so hopefully she should go one better from last time.
So you've got Morvara Princess running for the first time this Pune season, and that too straight direct at a distance of 2,400 meters. What do you have to say about that, and tell us how it feels?
She's coming out of a setback, but she's been doing well, and this was the race that was available for me, so I targeted the same, and I think she should run a big race. She's carrying top weight. I've taken 3.5 kilos off on her, and God willing, she should be right there.
And who does Morvara Princess have to look out for?
Like I said, this is her first start, and that's a bit of a question mark for me. And hopefully, if she's well within herself, she'll run a big race. Thanks.
The second race, I have a horse called Rudishan Honor. In this race, the horse called Morvara Princess, who's beaten me by about 8 to 10 lengths in Bombay over a mile and a quarter trip. She hasn't raced since then. She hasn't had a mock race, but my filly's done well. She had the last start. She ran second to Lord and Master. I think there's been 2 of us.
I have See the Sun running on Sunday. He's a 1.5 mile sort of horse. But having said that, there are other good staying horses in the race, and yes, he has a fighting chance and he should run well.
I have Vincent Van Gogh running the Class 3 1.5 mile. He ran a good race in the Independence Million. I think he was the weight was the issue, and that probably showed on him towards the fag end of the race. So now he goes in at bottom weight. I think it's an open field, but the 1.5 mile should not be a problem, and I expect him to run a good race.
Coming to the third race, I've got again two. I've got Fidato. I think he's got a good chance. I think he's got to beat a horse called Jetfire, who has been carrying some good form on him. And but my horse has also shown a lot of improvement since his last race, and could make this very interesting.
I have Sentinel running the 5-year-old and over race, and last run was suggestive. He put in a good run last week. He's running a little too quick for comfort, but he's taking on the same horses. Most of them ran last week, so he'll run a good race. He'll be right there at the finish. Yeah.
All right, in the next race, you've got Zukor and Dauzabel both running at the same race over a distance of 1,000 meters. Tell us how they both feel and if they both have a good chance tomorrow.
Zukor has been quite consistent this season, and I think running in a higher class with a bottom weight and Nazil riding him this time, he should run a very fair race. Dorsabel, Sakleen rides her. Unfortunately, the mare has been a bit lethargic in a jump out. She keeps throwing her head up. If that is sorted off and she takes a good jump, she also can put up a good show. So, I hope that both my horses run a fair race, and let's hope for the best.
So you've got Bubbly Boy competing at the Vilusi Poonawalla Million tomorrow. How good are the chances of Bubbly Boy, and what are its probable dangers?
Bubbly Boy has taken his race well last 2 weeks back. He had a run and he's feeling fresh, so I'm taking a chance in this maiden million. It's a competitive race. There are Racing Romance, Pure for Sure, Sereno. These horses have done well, so I hope he runs a good race.
Fourth race, I have a horse called Endurance. I put an equipment on him. I put a cross nose band. He's worked well with that. I think it's a little competitive race because 6 may be a little too sharp for him.
I have Juliana running the Vilusi Poonawalla Million. It's a fantastic million to win. I've won it once before. Juliana was supposed to run last week, but she decided she's not running. She's played a shoe and she had to be withdrawn. So she's picked the race to run. So hope she decides to win. I think she'll run in a fantastic race. Racing Romance is the horse, but I'll give her a run for her money.
Hi, good morning. I have 2 runners in the Vilu Poonawalla Million. One is Nelina, Zervan is riding, and the other one is Street Sense, Neeraj is riding. Both have worked decently, and I hope they run a good race.
I have Racing Romance running in a 1200 meter race. It's a tough set. I've got Serrano to beat, but she'll run a big race.
In the 5th race, SA Poonawalla Million, Believe is running. He's got weights, so I think if he take out the weight, so he'll do better in that race. And only danger is that he's got weight on him. He's giving weights to all the horses. So if he carries the weight, I think he'll be there.
I have Hall of Grace running the SA Poonawalla Million. She's won 2 of her starts in Pune. She's done well for me. She's done whatever I've asked of her every time I step her up and trip. The mile will be going into the unknown, but she's by Planetaire, so I'm hoping that there is a little bit of stamina on the higher side, and that should sort of pull her through. She's well. It's a competitive race. I think Dream Alliance is the horse everyone has to beat over there, but my filly is well, and I expect her to run a good race.
Second runner is Misty. She was a bit unlucky last time. She's fit and well. I think she can do it.
So then we have Enabler competing at the big race tomorrow, the SA Poonawalla Million Grade 3. Tell us something more about Enabler's prep.
Enabler is a winner last time out in the 7 furlong. He had a lot of traffic problem and he came and won. That showed he has the ability and class to run this race, and I'm taking a chance. There are 2 horses in that race. Hall of Grace, who was in first run out of my horse, she has beaten me by 7 lengths and one very impressive. And one horse who has done very well is that Dream Alliance. His run in Bombay has been very good with good company. I hope he runs a big race.
In the SA Poonawalla Million, I have Julius running. He's a very talented horse. Like I said, he's a top horse. He won his first outing well, and he's come up from that race, and I expect a big run from him. I expect a very big run from him.
Rush running in the SA Poonawalla Million over a mile. I think I have to beat Hall of Grace and Dream Alliance. But filly is well, and I think she ran well.
Then in the fifth race, I have a horse called Dream Alliance. After his brilliant performance in Bombay, unfortunately the horse had a lot of health issues. He had a bad injury while traveling from Bombay to Bangalore. I had to offload him at the farm and brought him to Pune. He's not himself at the moment, but yeah, I also did an operation on him. I castrated him, and he's become a little too excitable. Anyway, I'm cooling him off, and I had to give him a start somewhere, so I've chosen this race. At the handicap, he should run well.
I have Multiverse running the Class 4 mile. He had one start in Pune early on, I think in the first week of the season, over 6 furlongs. It looked like he wanted much longer, and I've just given him some time to furnish and get stronger, because he seems to be a late maturing type, and I think the mile should be right up his alley. He's worked nicely. He's gone for a decent mock race as well, so I expect him to put up a good show and be right there in the finish.
And then I have Chagall, Fontana and Sienna, all three running in a mile, in a Class 4 mile. I think my better runners are Chagall and Fontana. And yeah, they have a chance. Thank you.
Sixth race, I have a filly called Fancy Nancy. It's a very competitive race. She's also worked well. I have one horse to beat, Multiverse.
And the third runner is Stunning Visual. She's a winner last time, but in the lower class. Now she's running in a higher class, slightly tough race. But she's maintaining form and fitness. She could do it.
I have Giant King running in the Class 4 mile in the 6th race. He's worked very well, and he's running at the bottom of the weight. I've claimed allowance and hope he runs a good race.
All right, so we've got Champagne Smile running the last race tomorrow. Tell us something more about Champagne Smile, and how do you think it's going to fare?
She's got a soft mouth, as you know. Last time with Suckling, she put her head up 3 or 4 times, and she throws away her race away over there. If she doesn't do that, she'll go close. She ran a good race the first time, where she just got beat to Superimpose, but the following time was a disaster. I hope she behaves herself and does things straight. If she does, she'll go close to winning. And the dangers are India Strong, Trinket and Mighty Thunder.
In the last race, I've got 3 horses, out of which the best runner would be Mighty Thunder. He's been working decently. He's not a great worker, but he performs much better in a race. The horse he has to take on would be India Strong.
India Strong.